Welcome back to the Tales from the Cult YouTube channel and the Karizma Speaks podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Queen Karizma, and I'm back with another commentary video and Karizma Speaks podcast episode. First and foremost, I want to shout out all of my loyal supporters, all of my day one supporters, all of my members. Thank you so much for your continued support. This channel continues to grow, and you're the reason why. So I definitely appreciate all the thumbs up. I appreciate all the new subscribers and everyone who supports me via membership or any other way, or whoever supported me in the past and will in the future. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate it. Now, I want to start with this disclaimer because typically when I speak on these type of topics, we have a lot of people, a lot of trolls who come to this channel to try to debunk or argue or go back and forth with me regarding my opinion. And so let me just get this out of the way and then we will get right into today's video and podcast. Warning. Viewers' discretion is advised. The Tales from the Cult YouTube channel and Karizma Speaks podcast is for adults 18 and older. If you cannot handle adult topics in a respectful and mature manner, please do not watch. Karizma's commentary is raw, sugar-free, and may be too real for you. If so, leave now. Topics discussed may be too sensitive for you. If so, leave now. I will not argue with anyone concerning my opinion. I will not be shamed into changing my opinion or topics. I will not apologize for my opinions. Anything I cannot prove is alleged. TFTC's content is for entertainment purposes only. Trolls, distractors, and fake supporters will be blocked. Clout chasers will be blocked. You have been warned. Thank you. So let's get right into today's video. I have an update for everyone, and I believe you will find this update to be of value. All right. So, first and foremost, we will start with Shanquella Robinson and what's going on. I want to give an overview of the case in case some people may not have heard of Shanquella Robinson. I have many different followers, not just in the United States, but everywhere. So, just in case you have not heard of Shanquella Robinson, um, she was a 25-year-old young woman from Charlotte, North Carolina. And around this time last year, October 29th of last year to be exact, she was found unresponsive in a beachside luxury resort in Los Cabos, Mexico. So at this point, it has been more than a year since this happened to Shanquella. Our condolences to her family and rest in peace to her. It's very unfortunate and tragic that something like this happened to her. So there have been mysteries surrounding what happened and conflicting stories from both the Mexican and American authorities. According to Shanquella's mother, Salamandra Robinson, she was allegedly told by at least three of Shanquella's travel companions that they believe that her daughter died due to alcohol poisoning. On November 4th, 2022, almost 1 week after Shanquella's death, her body was partially examined by a medical doctor in Mexico. All right. This medical doctor's name was Renee A. Galvin Oseguera. Renee determined that Shanquella's cause of death was due to, quote, severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Okay, so that was the first autopsy that was performed. It was in Mexico, and it was a partial autopsy according to the United States Mecklenburg County Examiner's Office. Mexico did a partial autopsy, so it was not a full autopsy. All right. So to continue, Renee determined that Shanquella's cause of death was due again to severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. The death certificate, which was unsigned, also claimed that Shanquella died about 15 minutes after the violent or accidental injury occurred. The Mecklenburg County Medical Examiner's Office did their own autopsy on November 17th, 2022, and it was discovered by a medical doctor named Thomas D. Owens that there were injuries which included abrasions and, quote, hematoma of the forehead, end quote. However, due to the nature of the first autopsy, the spinal cord laxation, he could not prove that spinal cord laxation was the cause of her death. And he also could not prove whether there was alcohol in Shanquella's system or not because of how long it took before the first examination was done. So, in that autopsy done by the Mecklenburg County Medical Examiner's Office, they said that because it was more than 10 hours um, before Mexico actually allegedly did the first partial autopsy, at that point, any alcohol or anything else could have metabolized. And therefore, they didn't even have any proof that there was, and they didn't even have any proof that there was not. The doctor, he actually reached out to Mexican authorities to find out what happened to the actual toxology report. They allegedly did not even have one. They gave him a verbal confirmation that they did not find any alcohol in her system. So it was just, this is where the confusion kind of really began, because Mexico said one thing and then the US said something different. So it was just conflicting stories all across the board. Okay. And so the group of about 6 party goers, allegedly, their names are Dejanay Jackson, Khalil Cook, Winter Donovan, Malik Dyer, Elise Hyatt, and Nazeer Wiggins. They were there to celebrate, allegedly, Dejanay's birthday. The gang decided to stay inside the luxury villa and celebrate. The night before Shanquella's death, they ordered food that a chef prepared. They drank alcoholic beverages, and they seemed to have played a popular drinking game, which was a card game called Charge It to the Game. Now, they played this card game allegedly into the early hours in the morning. So they were all allegedly drinking into early morning, a typical celebration of someone's birthday. So this was evident by Shanquella and Khalil's Instagram stories, which were shared on Shanquella's now deleted Instagram account. So, allegedly, sometime in the morning on October 29th, 2022, a disagreement may have happened between the acquaintances, and an altercation was then recorded on one of their phones. Okay. And so this video ended up going viral, and the people identified in the video was Dejanay, who was identified by the public. People, I guess, who knew her or knew of her, they said that that was her in the video. And Shanquella was also identified by her father, Bernard Robinson. It is unclear how it started or who else was involved with the altercation. But what is clear is that in the viral video, Shanquella was noticeably, allegedly intoxicated or under some type of influence. Why do I say that? This was evident in her slow response to being physically attacked, her incohesive reply when she was asked a question by one of the guys there, um, the fact that her words were slurring, and the inability for her to stand balance on her feet. Okay. So it appears that she was targeted at her most vulnerable moment. From what the video showed, none of the people who were in the villa helped stop the fight. They all seemed to just watch. Now, I don't know what happened directly before or directly after. Again, there's a lot of pieces missing to the puzzle. So we can only say allege and kind of assume or come up with things that could have happened, but nothing has been proven besides what was already shown in the video. Now, before the video was exposed on social media, Shanquella's mother was allegedly told by Mexican officials that her daughter passed away due to alcohol poisoning. So not only was she told by the three individuals that she invited to her home when they came back from Mexico, but she was told by Mexican officials, according to a WCNC interview, that Mexican authorities told her this as well. That was before they saw the video. They stated that it was alcohol poisoning that was the cause of her death. So once the video came out and went viral on social media, then the Mexican government, they started to investigate the matter as a potential femicide. Allegedly, the Mexican authorities sent an order for the aggressor, only one of the people, to be extradited to Mexico for trial. But that has yet to happen. Quilla Long, who is Shanquella Robinson's sister, launched a GoFundMe campaign to raise funds for the family's expenses. Initially, the campaign was intended to cover the funeral costs of their loved one. However, as the legal battle for justice progressed, the family required additional funding to support legal expenses and other related costs. Thanks to the generosity of donors, including basketball star Kyrie Irving, the campaign raised over $400,000, providing the family with the necessary resources to pursue justice for their loved ones. The Robinson family, in the meantime, they held rallies in honor of Shanquella's name. They had a balloon release and they marched to the post office to mail letters in pink envelopes asking that the Cabo Six be arrested and extradited. The family soon hired an attorney by the name of Sue Robinson, who is not related to the family and who was working alongside Ben Crump to meet with government officials regarding Shanquella's case. On Wednesday, April 12th, 2023, the FBI in North Carolina, they met with the family of Shanquella Robinson and determined, after thoroughly investigating the matter and reviewing all documentation, that there was not enough evidence to prosecute the 6 individuals for Shanquella's death. In an official statement, representatives said, quote, "The government must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed. Based on the results of the autopsy and after careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials by both U.S. attorneys' offices, federal prosecutors informed Ms. Robinson's family today that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution," end quote. The announcement also added that they understood that it was incredibly difficult for the family, and they usually do not issue public statements about the status of any investigation. But given the conditions of the case, they figure it would be appropriate to address it publicly. The Justice Department said that they are open to examine and review any new information related to the case. So, since receiving the news that the FBI could not pursue legal action against the six people at this time, the family continued to keep Shanquella's name alive. One way they did this was by hiring a team to create SBR Helping Hands, which is reportedly a nonprofit organization focused on preventing bullying and providing mental health awareness. Quilla Long and the team behind the organization initiated their very first empowerment brunch, which sold tickets ranging from $25 to $500 and more. The brunch took place on August 27th, 2023, and was hosted by a woman named Von Yetta from Power 98, which is a radio station. The organization served food and had a cocktail menu for its guests to enjoy. This event included attendees such as Basketball Wives reality TV star Jennifer Williams, their attorney, Sue Robinson, and activist Tamika Mallory. The proceeds were said to be used to bring Shanquella's legacy to life. Recently, WCNC, that is a news station in Charlotte, North Carolina, reported that Sue Robinson was still pushing the State Department to extradite the six people who were on the trip with Shanquella. Sue had allegedly made disparaging remarks about the U.S. officials and blamed them for not taking the case seriously. She said that if they would have taken the case seriously, it would have been further along. Nevertheless, the FBI in Charlotte stated that the case remains open and that, as they mentioned before, there is still not enough evidence to go to federal trial and prosecute the six. But if new evidence becomes available, the Department of Justice is willing to accept it and examine it. The Mexican authorities are only looking to extradite one person who they said was the aggressor. But as of now, no arrests have been made. Sue Robinson is now threatening legal action against all six of Shanquella's travel companions and has said that this will be going to court. She told this to an article, or it was actually published in an online article by Newsweek on October 29th, 2023. The lawsuit will be against the six travel mates, including the three who she claimed lied by omission by failing to disclose that someone basically put their hands on Shanquella prior to her being found deceased. As of now, according to my research, no lawsuits have been filed against any of the six individuals. All right. So that is pretty much everything that has taken place from then all the way to now. Okay. So now I want to share with you guys what I found regarding two of the alleged suspects who are called the Cabo Six on the internet. I will start with Winter Donovan. Okay. Now, this information, again, is not to embarrass or harass or make fun of her current situation, because I am currently going through something similar, and I'm sure other people are not new to something like this. Okay, we all go through issues. So, this is merely an update, and I would definitely appreciate it if you were still respectful in the comment section or you will still be blocked. So, this is a case summary um, in the Mecklenburg District Court. And it's basically showing that Winter Donovan was evicted from her house or apartment, but I believe this was a house. And I'm going to just kind of go over this a little bit. And then I will be getting into Nazeer Wiggins, okay, and what's been going on with him in the courtroom. So on June 14th, 2023, this year, there was a hearing for Winter Donovan at 9 a.m. in courtroom 2330. And this was at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. Now, this was because of an eviction. Okay. They call it summary ejection in North Carolina. And so on the 14th, this is what it said. This was basically initiated by Invitation Homes Realty LLC, IH6 property in North Carolina against Winter Donovan. Okay. So she's allegedly still in Mecklenburg County because this is in Mecklenburg District Court. All right. So just to kind of, I'm not going to read it word by word, but to summarize it, she received a summons from this company and a summary ejectment or eviction on June 1st, 2023. And it basically went through the legal processes. She was served the notice on June 5th. All right. They received the return of service that indicates that she was served. And then on September 6th of 2023, which was just last month, she was actually evicted. Okay. It states writ of possession. And according to the landlord and tenant rules, it states that a writ of possession is when they basically come and knock on your door and tell you you have to leave. Okay. So, one of the questions under the frequently asked questions here, it states, and I'm reading from the nccourts.gov, it states, how much time do I have to move in if the magistrate evicts me? And it says both parties have 10 days after the magistrate's decision to appeal the case to district court. The landlord cannot remove the tenant from the home until the appeal period has ended, whether or not the tenant appeals the case. Once the 10 days have passed, the landlord can return to court and ask the clerk for an order called a writ of possession, which allows the sheriff to padlock the home. The sheriff's office must then remove the tenant within 5 days. Local sheriff's department will then notify tenants in advance of the date they intend to padlock the home. So that's pretty much what happened to Winter Donovan on September 6th, 2023. And yeah, that's what she's currently going through or went through, it looks like. Okay. And so I want to also share with you information regarding Nazeer Wiggins, okay, and kind of an update on his issues and what he's been going through. He seems to always be going through something pertaining to his car, something traffic related. So he has two pending cases I'm going to share with you here now. Give me one moment. Okay. So Nazeer has two pending traffic violations that's going on right now. The first one is reckless driving to endanger. Okay. And this was basically a case that happened back in 2020 around this time, October is the date exactly says the offense date was October 21st, 2020. And so he's going through a reckless driving to endanger case. Okay. He loves fast cars, obviously. Um, and this is still pending. As you can see, October 28th, 2023, they're still working on this case. Okay. And I just thought it was very interesting because it's like, I don't know. This is the guy who came out and basically spilled his guts to everybody to try to absolve himself from the whole entire thing. And in my opinion, none of them are innocent. Everyone who was on the trip is involved. Okay. Nazeer was one of the people who basically came out and said, I didn't do it. I came late and I showed up and this was how it was. They told me what happened. I wasn't there for the fight. I wasn't there on the night they were drinking and playing these games. I was not there. I showed up the next day. That's pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what Nazeer Wiggins said in a Facebook live video that pretty much went viral. Okay. So apparently he is still going through a reckless excuse me, reckless driving and speeding. And he's going through these charges as of now. Okay. So I'm just showing y'all this. He has a hearing on November 9th, which is next month at 1:30 p.m. at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse in courtroom 4170. So that's one of the cases of his that's going on right now. You can look up this information for yourself. This is all public information. Okay. And I also want to share with you one more case that he is going through as well. It appears that he was just involved in a hit and run. Yes, you heard me correctly. A hit and run case. Okay. So let me share that with you here. Give me a second. This is again in the Mecklenburg District Court, and you can look up this information yourself. The offense is hit and run, failed to stop, and there was property damage. Okay. So this happened on October 7th, 2023. So this just happened a few weeks ago. Um, and basically, they filed this complaint on October 19th, 2023. He hit some, I guess, two, it looks like two women. I don't want to go down any further because their address is there, but he did hit two women allegedly, and now he's going through this case. I want to share with you the actual ticket because I covered the private or personal information. It's not private, but the personal information I went ahead and covered so we could just kind of get a close up on what's been going on. Let me make that bigger for everybody in the back here. Okay. So this is the actual ticket that he received from the officer. It looks like the officer's name was John Griffin. He gave him this ticket, and he stated that this person was involved in an accident resulting in property damage of Gabriella James. And he tried to get information from Gabriella, but it looks like she couldn't give the information. So it was a hit and run. He did not stop and provide the necessary information allegedly so that they could, call the police and get everything situated, exchange insurance and all of that stuff. So he just basically hit her and got up out of there, allegedly, according to this ticket. And they went and they found him. This is what I'm assuming. They went and they found him, and he received this ticket for a hit and run, or they, looked at the cameras and things like that. So there's a citation. He has to appear for this case on November 21st, 2023 at 9 in the morning. That is on a Tuesday in room 4150. So he was in a 2020 Dodge. Okay. So a fairly new car, probably one of those fast cars or whatever, muscle cars or whatever. Um, Speeding like he normally does. Like he's literally fighting another charge for reckless driving. So now he has a hit and run. So this is what he's currently going through. I'm not sure what he's doing online. I'm not sure about any of them and their activity online because, again, I deleted all of my social media. But he was one of the people who was very active even after all the stuff was going on online when people was making the videos and things like that. He was still a person who was still posting online. He was posting on his Instagram stories, like, like he wasn't going through nothing, like it's all good. He posts himself in the streets, like, I dare anybody to do anything. He wasn't scared. He's still in North Carolina, allegedly, well, apparently, according to this. Winter is still in North Carolina. I mean, they're still apparently just here. So now, Sue Ann Robinson is saying that she is going to pursue legal action against the six of them. Okay. And let me turn this document another way because there's more information here. Give me a quick second. I'm going to have to do that again. Okay. So these are the witnesses who was in the car, basically. Um, Gabriella and America. These were the victims allegedly and the witness and or the witnesses. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell with the writing of the officer. But yeah, so this is what he's been doing, speeding and driving and hitting and running allegedly. And and now it appears that Sue Ann will be pursuing, or allegedly, this is what she said. I haven't seen anything yet, but allegedly she will be pursuing action against the six individuals who was there at the time that Shanquella was found deceased. All right. So let me know y'all thoughts. Okay, I'm not going to be here long. I just wanted to give y'all this update and show you the proof of what's going on with Nazeer and with Winter. And yeah, I really hope that justice is served. I hope that somehow, some way, Sue Ann and the team could find hardcore evidence, because if they cannot find evidence, then unfortunately it's not going to look good in court. And again, the last thing we want to see is another letdown for this family, in my opinion. Um, so I just hope that Sue Ann knows exactly what she's doing and that she does the right thing and do not embarrass this family or discourage them even more. So far, the family have refused a third autopsy, and so they're just letting that be. So now, at this point, since they feel, or I should say, Sue Ann Robinson feels that the U.S. officials haven't done anything, she is now taking it upon herself to sue the six individuals. And again, the government, the Department of Justice, they could not pursue legal action because they stated that you have to have beyond reasonable doubt. You have to have information, evidence that's beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed. Now, if they have other evidence, again, I don't know how this could play out in court for them, suing them personally. But again, the government said that they're not pursuing it because they have to have this information and it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed. They need more evidence. You have to have proof before you accuse anyone. I understand we all feel away, but this is the court of law. Our words, our opinions don't matter. Social media justice don't matter. Okay. What matters is the actual proof in court. And if Sue Ann provides that proof, then maybe something may happen at the same time. Because of everyone's foolishness on social media, it is like everybody gave the Cabo Six room to fight or defend themselves in court because they were doxxed. Allegedly, they were harassed. Other channels called their parents. other channels was harassing their family members and putting it on YouTube. And they could say it was because the family put their names out along with Gerald Jackson of the NC Beat, and they were not guilty of anything because they weren't charged with anything. So now this is going to be something like he say, she say, but at the same time, in my opinion, there has to be evidence that you're claiming that they took the life of another person. You have to bring hardcore evidence. And if the government said that the video wasn't evidence, what the Mexican official said wasn't evidence, the autopsies are all saying something different, then I would really want to know what Sue Robinson is going to pull out of her hat to make this stick, because it could go one of two ways. It can go one way, and if she sue these individuals, and they could possibly win. However, it could go another way if she sue these individuals and they have proof that they did not do it, or they have proof that they were in effect harassed by the family, or their names were doxed by the family, or they encourage Gerald Jackson, who does have a criminal record, to engage in cyberbullying against them, then they possibly have a defense. At the end of the day, we want justice for Shanquella Robinson. I'm just giving both sides of the coin. Take your emotions out of what I'm saying, because in the court of law, emotions are not proof. It does not help the case. Okay. So I hope that people who are listening clearly understand my message, but we know that people will still misconstrue my message. So, it is what it is. So let me know what y'all think about that. And I will go ahead and give you an update as I see them coming in. Let me know what you think about what Sue Robinson is doing. Let me know what you think about what Winter is going through, what Nazeer is going through. I looked up information on the others. It doesn't seem to be any information out there. So I don't know. I really don't know, but we can only hope that more information comes up, maybe text messages, maybe something else. I mean, from what I understand, the US is not going to pursue legal action because there's not enough evidence, and also because allegedly Mexico is basically protecting their people, protecting the doctor, protecting everyone who was involved there. So at this point, it's like, okay, well, if you don't want to work with us, then we're not going to work with you, because there were more people involved in this than just these 6 individuals. There was the doctor, there was the ambulance, there was the maids. So it's just a lot going on in this case. And I can only hope that it does not end up being a cold case, and that some new evidence come to light, because in my opinion, the best thing would be for the federal government to do the prosecuting. Okay, that in my opinion, that would be the best thing in this situation. I'm not sure how civil cases are going to work. I'm not sure what damages they're I don't know if this is a criminal or civil, because I'm not sure if they're looking for damages or if they're accusing them of actually taking the life of Shanquella. But again, they better come with some hardcore proof, or this is going to look bad on Sue Robinson. And if Ben Crump is still working with her, it's going to look bad on their team. Okay. And that's going to give them a negative reputation, and it may discourage the family from pursuing legal action any further. So hopefully it doesn't go that way. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see y'all on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.